All right, 7th graders, we're going to be working on parallelograms today. Remember that this is a parallelogram. Parallelogram has two opposite sides that are parallel. So this side is parallel with this side, and this side is parallel with this side. A rectangle is a parallelogram. Square is a parallelogram. And a rhombus is a parallelogram. However, a trapezoid like this or like this is not a parallelogram. Okay? Now, we're going to use some of our skills that we've learned for about area for triangles and rectangles to help us. And I'll show you what I mean on the next page here. If we have a rectangle here and we say the length is 8 and let's say the height is 5, then we know the area would be 8 times 5, and that would be 40. Now a parallelogram, if you take these same sides right here and you slant them, keep the same length for the bottom, so this is still 5, but it's just been bent down. This is still 8. However, the area is not still 40. We go back to what we've done with triangles. In triangles, if you remember, we take base times height. So the actual height here of this red line is a 4. So for parallelograms that are bent like this, or kind of squished, we can't use this number out here. We don't want to use this number like we did over here. Instead, we have to use the height. So for parallelograms, so for the area actually of a parallelogram, we say it's the base times the height. But unlike triangles, we don't divide by 2. So in this example, we would say the base is 8, the height is 4, so it would be 32 as opposed to this one being 40. You see there's a little bit of a difference when we're working with parallelograms, and that's because they've been squished a little bit. You can see this isn't as far apart as it is over here. They've been scrunched. Alright, so example 1, find the perimeter and the area of this parallelogram, and they use the exact same one that we just did there. This is 5, this is 8, and this is 4. What we need to watch out for is not to use these. We're going to be tempted to use these, and probably even some of us will make a mistake from time to time using this number. But for a parallelogram, it's been squished, so we want this number right here. So, again, 8 will be the base, the height will be 4, so it'll be 32, and these were in inches, so I'd have 32 square inches. Okay. Now the perimeter of this will still be the same. The perimeter, I'll have a 5 over here, so this will be a 5. And this is 8 because this is 8. It's a parallelogram. So my perimeter, so this is area. So perimeter will equal 5 plus 8 plus 8. 5 and 5 is 10. 8 and 8 is 16. 10 plus 16 is 26 inches. So that's going to be my perimeter, or that's going to be my area. Okay, so that's a little bit about parallelograms. Now let's look at the angles of them. In example 2, we have a parallelogram here, and A, B, C, and D, and this is 110 degrees, it tells us. Which means we have adjacent, non-adjacent angles here. They are in opposite corners. These are non-adjacent. Adjacent means next to. And these corners are not next to each other, and they will always have an angle measure that's identical to each other. So if this is 110, then this will be 110. Now, we know that out here, if we extended this line, that would make it 180 degrees. So if this is 110, the other side, the other angle here would have to equal 180, so that will be 70. Which means this angle down here is going to be 70. extend that line, this would be 70, and extend this line, this would be 110 out here. But we're not confused there. So now, since we know this angle, the non-adjacent corners, their angles are always the same. So this will be 70. And again, in a four-cornered figure like this, they always have to equal 360 degrees. And if we add these up, this will be 180, this will be 180. 180 plus 180 is 360. So in this case, we would say that we have here angle D equals angle B, and angle C equals angle A. All right, that's it for today. 7th graders, you can get started on your lesson practice.